Ladies and gentlemen, welcome tonight to another edition. Yeah, we are live. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition here tonight of the NASCAR 21 Ignition Custom Schedule Season Race number 16. We are at the Daytona Road Course, part of the Daytona doubleheader on the channel today. We had a 50% race that was supposed to be scheduled under the lights on the oval last night. Ended up running that earlier today due to some glitching and some crashing issues with NASCAR 21 Ignition last night. So we had to run that race earlier this afternoon. This is the second leg of the doubleheader because of that. Full race on tap for this one at the Daytona Road Course. It is the O'Reilly Auto Parts 253. 70 laps will be on tap here for this one. So this should be a very interesting race to say the least. We will also be starting from the rear of the field as well. So starting from the back of the pack, we'll have to see how that's going to play into effect in this one as well. And yeah, it should be fun. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't want to random position on. We were planning on starting at the rear, so throw that into last position there for a second. Alrighty. Yeah, I just kind of realized that at the last second. Dark Crypto, Ashton G, Mikey Boy, R6R6, NASCAR LOL, welcome to the street. Oh my goodness. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully I'm not going to be screaming tonight. We've had good luck with the road courses on this game, so I have high hopes that this should be a pretty good race here tonight. Sean Machier, welcome to the stream. Machier. Is the game getting more stable, or is it still frustrating for the game? Oh, it is still frustrating for the game. Highly frustrating. More on that later on in the broadcast. Estefani Oliveira, welcome to the stream. Yeah, congrats to the Packers today, winning, shutting out the Seattle Seahawks nonetheless. I know Russell Wilson was just coming off of injury, but they shut him out. Couldn't believe it. Here's Alex Hayden for the pre-race to today's O'Reilly.
Alex Hayden here to bring you the action of this 3.6-mile road course at Daytona. This race is still fairly new to the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, so it could be a chance for a new name to find their way to victory lane. We've seen some drivers struggle and some succeed through practice and qualifying this weekend, but the race is where that effort comes to a head. Race is over. The cars and drivers are lined up and ready to go. Let's head trackside to get the engines fired for today's race.
And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for today's race at the Daytona Road Course. Christopher Bell. Why are we starting on the pole? Hang on, wait a minute here. I need to back out. We're supposed to be starting last, and it had us on the pole. Let's go back into this. Give me a second. Yeah, look. Simulated qualifying, last. Hopefully it has us starting last. If not, I guess we'll be on the pole today. I could always simulate qualifying, I guess, too. If it doesn't work this time, I'll back out one more time and I'll just simulate qualifying so I can start at the back. That should work. Sorry for the delay at the start of the stream. Rogers is on a mission. Cowboys look real good this week, though. Yeah, there was a lot of, like, blowouts this weekend. I think Tony Romo kind of said it best during the Packers game today that, like, there's really, like, 5 teams in the NFC that you could say could be the #1 team in the NFC. Off the eye test. Arizona's struggling right now, but
Alex
they've
Hayden
also
here to bring
played
you the
without
action
Kyler
of this
Murray.
3.6-mile road course at Daytona. This race is still fairly new to the NASCAR Cup Series.
They've been playing without DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray the last 2 weeks, so I'll give them a pass.
We've seen some drivers struggle and some succeed through practice and qualifying this weekend.
All right, let me skip this. We already went through this once already. Now let's see what the starting lineup is. No, still got us on the pole. All right, well, hang on. We're going to be starting at the back. I know you guys are like, oh, just start on the pole. I didn't qualify. I don't want to start on the pole. Whoop. Okay. Let's quit one more time. First is last. Last is first. Is that what it is? That could be. That could be it. I'm just going to go into qualifying. Qualify. And if that is the case, then we'll go first. Actually, let's just go last again, just to make sure. 76 degrees for the start of this race today. We'll have to see how that's going to tune in. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. I know a little bit of a slow start to things here today. No surprise with this game having more glitches. That's not shocking. I guess I can take the time now to let you guys know. I don't know when the next NASCAR 21 Ignition live stream will be. I think we'll go back to NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 tomorrow. Next race is at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. That is going to be a long race as it is if we can get to the end of it. And I just don't feel with the games crashing and the glitches and everything that is a good race to have next on the schedule. If we do have anything NASCAR 21 Ignition related, it will be the career mode, because I do have a couple episodes that are already pre-recorded. But as far as the custom schedule season goes, the next race with it being Charlotte, specifically the Coca-Cola 600, that is a race where I feel like we are going to have a bad finish if the game just glitches. I don't want that to be the reason why we finish bad. It's been the reason we finished bad over a handful of times already this season, but I really don't want that to be the case again. Joey Logano looks super weird with a hat. Why? It looks like his hat's like on super. It makes his forehead look big. It's like if I like put my hat like all the way up like this. All right, let's skip a qualifying. Why do you want to not start on the pole? I just wanted to start at the rear because we didn't qualify. We skipped qualifying. We shouldn't start on the pole if we skip qualifying. Skip. There we go. Now we're starting last. Yeah, Ravens lost to the Dolphins Thursday night. Crazy. Yeah, it's officially football season. I stated that earlier today during the live stream. But now that NASCAR is over, it is officially football season for my sake.
3.6-mile road course at Daytona. This race is still fairly new to the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, so it...
All right, now we'll take a look at today's starting lineup. Third time's a charm. Chase Elliott will be starting on the pole. He was the inaugural winner of the Daytona road course in real life at this very racetrack. Michael McDowell will start outside pole in second for this one. He's known to being a very good road course racer. Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon, the two Daytona Oval winners so far this season, will be lined up in row number 2. Hamlin, the winner of the Daytona 500. Austin Dillon won earlier today on the Daytona 250-mile race. Kevin Harvick and Kyle Larson will be back in row number 3. Corey LaJoie, Ross Chastain in row 4. And then rounding out the top 10, Joey Logano and Bubba Wallace in row number 5. Again, Christopher Bell, no practice, no qualifying for this race, will be starting at the rear of the field. So we'll have to see how that is going to work itself out as this race progresses. Buckle in tight. This might be the last time we will see NASCAR 21 Ignition on the channel until the next patch comes out. But it should be a good one. The Daytona road course is underway. Green flag is in the air. And we'll see if Christopher Bell can recreate history. Big checkup into the first turn. Bell realized that. He pulls to the bottom lane. Trying to make his way through. He's in the grass and kind of got stuck there. Looking to send it 3 wide. on Ryan Newman and Daniel Suarez, but he does gain about 7 positions. 2 by 2 now into the S's. Contact with Daniel Suarez, which knocks Bell into the grass. Everybody is checking up big time at the back. 78 of BJ McLeod got plowed into from behind by somebody behind him. Couldn't tell exactly who it was. Bell getting 10 spots, just kind of tiptoeing into the kink. Here comes Anthony Alfredo to the outside. He almost slipped up into the grass. Drives it in deep into the next corner. Bell's just kind of checking up, not knowing where the traffic is going to go. Trying to be very, very easy right now. Gains that spot back on Alfredo, looking to make a pass now. Matt DiBenedetto into a tight hairpin-like corner before getting back up onto the oval on the high banks at Daytona. Already 10 spots gained on the opening lap for Christopher Bell. Heavy braking zone now into the bus stop. Again, Bell checking up, expecting the rest of the field to maybe check up here. He still outbrakes Matt DiBenedetto, easing his way into that bus stop on the backstretch. Just trying to get a feel for the race car without any practice or qualifying. I have raced here already in the career mode and actually made it through the full race, so I have high hopes that we could get through the full race today. Hopefully we have a much better finish than what we had on the career mode. If you guys watched it, we finished in 22nd, if I remember correctly. Very slow getting back to the gas off of the front stretch chicane. Nice easy pass on both Matt DiBenedetto and Quinn Houff into the tri-oval. Bell up to 28th. 12 spots gained from last to 28th on the opening lap when the field was bunched together. I don't think we've seen a single caution on a road course at all this season, so Bell's going to have to anticipate that. Trying to make a pass on the 78 car of BJ McLeod. Very tight in this corner. Trying not to make any contact. Slides back into the gas. Almost spun the car out. McLeod with a block into the kink. Bell will let him go for now. Bell sends it in on BJ McLeod now. Very tight racetrack is the Daytona road course in the infield section. Almost making contact with BJ. It's so hard to run side-by-side on this road course. Hard to run side-by-side on any track in this game. Bell trying to beat McLeod back to the gas, up onto the oval. Taking a little bit of a shortcut perhaps. Still taking the shortest way around. Down on the bottom, McLeod with a block. And oval turns 1 and 2. And now Christopher Bell's in the draft. He should be able to slingshot the 78 car. Pulls out a line down the back straightaway. 78 going to try to pinch him. An out-braking maneuver that time for Bell as he makes the pass. Kind of locked up the rear tires a little bit to be able to make the corner. But he did a swell job of out-braking BJ McLeod that time. Ryan Blaney, Joey Gase, Chris Busch are the next 3 lead lap cars. 24th, 25th, and 26th. Ahead of the 27th place driver now, Christopher Bell. Again, Bell won this race in real life in 2021, so trying to do the same here. Beats Blaney back to the gas, powers past him and Joey Gase into the tri-oval. Made 2 passes on the opening lap and 2 passes on lap 2 in the tri-oval now. Oh, big slip getting into the first turn for Chris Buescher. He goes a little wide. You can see him struggling for grip with the rear tires. And Bell's all over the back of him now into the S's. Buescher later into the braking zone, though. Bell's really sliding the race car, trying to get back to the gas off the exit of that corner. He did that on lap 2, and he did it right here on lap 3. Finished 20th on the... Okay, thank you for that. Now that you mentioned that, that is right. We finished 22nd earlier today at Homestead. That's why I said 22nd, so my bad on that one. Chris Buescher sliding again, trying to pick up the throttle. Ooh, look at him pinching the 20. Oh my goodness, Christopher Bell held his line there, and Buescher just ran right into him. Bell hits him back off the exit of oval turn 2 and is saying, hey, give me a little bit more room next time. Bell outbrakes Buescher into the bus stop. Able to clear him. Trying to stay in the draft of Tyler Reddick. Oh, outbreaks Reddick into the front stretch chicane. Not a good place to try and make a pass. He's going to let Reddick go. He's going to be patient, getting back to the gas. Now throttles it back up. Off the curbing, into the left rear of Tyler Reddick. That's going to slow the momentum down to Christopher Bell, but he does make the pass on Reddick nonetheless. He maybe could have made a pass on Eric Almirola if he didn't make the contact with the 8 car. Locks the tires up into turn 1 a little bit. Almirola pinches him off at the same time. Bell looking to make the pass on the 10. Almirola not known for being very good on road courses. Bell will make the pass on him right there that time, sliding, getting back to the gas in turn 4 again. Hopefully I get to dump a driver. I don't plan on dumping anybody. The career mode, if I get turned by anybody in the career mode, the retaliation will be in the career mode separately. It's a little bit different than the custom schedule season. Now, if somebody gets into us on this season, then the retaliation, if we need to get any like we did with Kyle Larson at Dover, would be specifically on the custom schedule season. I won't let that like interfere with one season or another, so we can keep the all the drama correlated with the specific season that we are doing. Bell in the draft heavily, though, behind Justin Haley. Pulls out a line, looking to the outside, and Haley cuts him off, and Bell just drove it into the wall. Haley trying to throw a block now. Bell gasses it up at the last second. Is he going to be able to get the car to turn? Barely. In way of passing Justin Haley for position, for 21st to be exact. Yeah, I mean, Larson just stuffed us in the wall yesterday. That's why we got him back at Dover. Wow, what a great corner that time for Bell. Oh, man! Into the left rear now, the 52 car of Josh Belicki. That was just like when Bell got into Tyler Reddick earlier. Literally only 2 laps prior. Actually, 1 lap prior. It was the last lap where Bell got into Reddick. He's making his way through the field, though. Oh my goodness, we're going to spin the car out in that corner one of these times. Just completely drifting. Trying to pick that throttle back up. Big run on Byron again. Byron couldn't throw the block in time. Bell outbreaks him and makes a nice clean pass in the infield section right into the International Horseshoe. Bell sliding, getting back to the gas. So does Martin Truex Jr., his teammate in front of him. You can see the damage on the front bumper of the 20. I don't think he hit the 52 that hard, but for whatever reason, it registered that much damage. Hopefully it's not going to mess with the speed for Christopher Bell. Pit window is going to be 15 to 18 laps in this race today, based off of what we were able to go. Not only ourselves, but the AI as well. The Daytona road course from the career mode. And no telemetry in the game as of recording this. I should say as of this live stream. It's not a premiere. Only the career mode episodes are any sort of premiere. It's like Truex outbreaks Cody Ware. Bell also outbreaks Martin Truex Jr. Made sure he didn't hit the curbing that time so he could get the cut. That was the only time he got into those 2 cars into the tri-oval and off the exit of that front stretch chicane was because he had hit the curbing and couldn't get the car to actually cut off the exit. That time he didn't hit the curbing. He made a nice couple clean passes on both Cody Ware and Martin Truex Jr. And just like that, Christopher Bell's up to 17th. Into the open, now looking to run down Kurt Busch, Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Westman, welcome to the stream. He's doing a great job right now. Considering he started in last place, we're only at lap 6. And honestly, he's in great position if he could just keep kind of this range right behind the one of Kurt Busch. He should be able to pass him and maybe even Chase Briscoe off the exit of the front stretch chicane this lap back to the start-finish line. Closes in quite a bit on Kurt Busch this time into the bus stop on the back stretch. And, oh man, he gets into the right rear of Kurt Busch. Kurt got loose, but it actually really slowed down the 20 of Bell. Bell lost a little bit of time. He's going to be more patient this time into the front stretch chicane. Got to make sure he doesn't hit the curbing off the exit. He didn't. Cut it nice. Passes Kurt Busch with ease. Hops in the draft now. And may make a move into turn 1 on the 14 car of Chase Briscoe. He does. He pulls out of line. Looks low to make the pass. Outbreaks the 14. Perfect enough time. And look at how much ground he closes on Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the 47, and they're side-by-side into the S's. Briefly, Bell hopped out of the gas. Now he's going to drive it in deeper into the 4th turn. Power slides his way past Stenhouse. Stenhouse going to try to cross it back over as they get back to the gas. Stenhouse could not get back to the gas when he wanted, though, with Bell on the outside of him. And Christopher Bell has gained 3 spots in less than a half a lap now, and he's up to 14. Reese Stallcup, welcome to the stream as well. They released any more patches yet? Not since 3 weeks ago. The only patches that they have come out were on the release date to the public, or haven't had one since the release date to the public. And by that I mean the, not the public, but I should say the release day on October 28th. If you pre-ordered, you got it 2 days early. They had a patch that day, then they had a patch the next day, and then another patch on the actual release day. Those are the only 3 patches I have had on PS4 so far. I believe the next patch, which is out of technicality the 4th patch, came out for PC, but as far as Xbox and PlayStation, it has not come out yet. But I believe if you have PC and you have NASCAR 21 Ignition, you will have gotten the most recent patch. If we get it tomorrow, we'll end up running the Coke 600 tomorrow, but I don't see that happening, so we'll probably flip it back to NASCAR 21 Ignition for tomorrow night on the channel. Likely. Either way, the start time will be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's just a matter of what game will it be. Full Custer having himself a decent run early on, was in 13th, now back to 14th after Christopher Bell makes the pass. We're about halfway through the opening fuel run of this race. Joey Logano dominated and led every lap of this Daytona Road Course race on the career mode, but he is currently running in the 11th position as of right now. Good run into the kink. Now down into the International Horseshoe goes Bell. Really wide in the corner. Trying to get it to cut. Slides the tires a little bit in the process of doing so. Keselowski really trying to hang on. Bell going to try to outbreak him for the spot. Got him. Perfect pass by Christopher Bell, and he's inside the top dozen. Now he's going to have to block Keselowski off as they get back into the oval. The damage on the front of the 20 car after getting in to Josh Bilicki a little bit early on could be costing him, though. Keselowski not looking that strong in Oval 1 and 2, at least that time by himself. Bell going to try to close the gap on the 22 of Logano in front of him as he has broken the Penske cars up for now. Bell all over the back of the 22. Yeah, they tweeted on Thursday about the patches, but I haven't seen anything from PS4 yet. Otherwise, I would have already gotten it. Oh, great run. That checkup by the AI is really helping Bell out in the tri-oval. Makes another couple passes on Kyle Busch and Joey Logano that time. Corey LaJoie now the next car in front of him. This is a battle for 9th place between Bell and LaJoie. Bell hits his marks in the S's, looks to the outside of Corey. Ooh, Corey with a big block. Slides the tires a little bit. Bell can't get back to the gas as soon as LaJoie did that time around. Now into the kink. See if Bell can put himself into striking distance perhaps here. Oh, and he pushes a little wide. He got back in the gas too soon. Barely kept the car on the racetrack. Had to use all the curbing, but he also had to lift as well. And LaJoie pulls him just a little bit more. We got 26 people currently watching the stream right now. Like, share, and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, full race live streams, realistic commentary for real races on the race weekend, as well as these NASCAR video game races. A lot more NASCAR video game stuff to come now that we're into the NASCAR off-season. But once the Busch Clash comes around next February, we'll be doing live commentary for that, and that will start our 2022 season on the channel for the real race commentary. I'll be at Daytona for Speed Weeks next year, so we'll take then that following week off for the Daytona 500. But maybe I'll be back for Auto Club. Maybe not for the Cup race at Auto Club because I would like to go there, but very good chance I'll be going to Auto Club next year as well. Look at LaJoie as he just got outbraked by Bell into the front stretch chicane. First time Bell's been able to really do that on another driver today, and now he pulls him into the tri-oval with the checkup by everybody else as well. Michael McDowell, who was on the front row at the start of the race, not that much further ahead. Bell completely overdrives turn 1. Luckily, he had a bunch of runoff area with the asphalt there and didn't actually get caught off in the grass. It definitely could have been more costly. Tires are wearing out at this point in the run. I know we're only on lap 10, but the fuel window is only 15 to 18 laps. So you can't expect too much here. Having to lift even more in the kink. Infield area of the racetrack so tight as well. You see the 23 of... that's the other McDonald's car, the 42 of Ross Chastain struggling for grip, sliding into the International Horseshoe now. And Bell closes right back in on him again. 76 degrees. Partly cloudy skies at the Daytona International Speedway. Bell got back onto the oval perfectly, and now he's in the draft of Ross Chastain. See how good of a run he's going to get off of Oval 2, down the back straightaway as he closes on the 42 car. Pulls out of line, tries to outbrake Chastain. He's coming in hot, and he gets into the back of Bubba Wallace. He turns Bubba Wallace into the backstretch chicane. Bell completely blew the corner. Now he's got to come to a complete stop. He was so desperate in trying to pass the 23 of Wallace. They're still stacked up as Wallace tries to get going back in the right direction. Bell battled hard for 7th. Instead, he falls back to 10th, having to come to a stop, missing the backstretch chicane / bus stop. First penalty of the race for Bell. Should get back around Busch. Oh my goodness, almost made contact with him. That was really close. Hit that curbing and drifted up a little wider than what he wanted to. Very aggressive, trying to beat Busch back to the gas, and did. So we got one spot back initially, but obviously costed him more time than just the positions itself. The interval to the leaders has dropped off quite a bit. Tough break for the two Toyotas to get together there. Bell just completely overdrove the corner again on older tires. Could be a little bit hard. Speaking of older tires, a bit of a power slide again in turn 4. Bell's been struggling with that all day long. Again, he's only gotten into the back of another car 3 times. That was definitely a lot of contact, causing most of the damage on the front bumper, the 20 of Bell, into the International Horseshoe, side by side with LaJoy, very tight in this area of the racetrack. Contact was made as Bell makes the pass for 8th. LaJoy didn't give him a whole lot of room, though there isn't really a lot of room in that corner regardless. So tough to get cars side by side, especially with these bigger, heavier stock cars, a lot lower downforce than most vehicles that would run on this Daytona road course in years past. Ross Chastain a few seconds ahead. Bell can try to be more aggressive into the bus stop by himself, but maybe not so much when he's trying to make passes. On Xbox One, do you have the... on PS4, I do not. I have it downloaded. I paid for it, but I do not actually have the paint schemes for whatever reason. I should have it because they're paid for, but... no, I don't have anything. By accounts of what I've asked on the last live stream in the chat, a couple people didn't have it either, so that's something they've... I mean, it's bad enough that the game is broken as it is, and then, you know, they try to make it up with some DLCs that you have to pay for, and that doesn't work either. I mean, you're just throwing money out the window at this point. It's unfortunate, but... man, Bell really pushed the issue that time into the kink, but he closed in quite considerably on Ross Chastain in front of him. And look at this, all over the back of the 42. He's in prime position to try and make the pass. Can he do it before they get back up onto the oval? Oh, man, big slide. Big slide by Bell. He just had to let the car kind of drift up the track on his own, instead of trying to cut the corner like he usually does down to the bottom, trying to get every little square inch of that asphalt before running back up onto the main oval. Otherwise, that car was going to loop right around on him. Got to be so gradual getting back to the gas on the 750 tracks of this game, whether it's an oval or a road course. And Bell is going to miss the chicane again. And again, he's going to have to come to a complete stop. He does. Now he'll get the car rolling. And all that time it took for him to try and get to Ross Chastain, he quickly loses it. So that is now twice in the last 3 laps that Christopher Bell has completely blown the entry to the bus stop. Game is challenging enough as it is. Bell only making it more and more challenging on himself. A little hot into turn 1. Wasn't all that bad, just a little bit wider of an entry than what he anticipated. Definitely getting a lot heavier into the braking zone, trying to push the car maybe a little bit harder over the last couple laps, and it's forced him into a couple minor mishaps. Yeah, I mean, it could very well be a PlayStation thing. I mean, once Bell finally does get around Chastain, not sure exactly where the 6th place car on up is in the running order. Seems to be quite a big gap. Not sure if the leaders have caught any lap traffic yet at all either. This is one of the longer road courses in the Cup Series, 3.6 miles. Oh my goodness, off the turtle. That was a jump right there, Dukes in Hazard style for Christopher Bell, getting back up onto the oval off the exit of the bus stop. I don't think he hurt the suspension in the car too much. Popping a wheelie at Daytona. Up over the turtle. I had a bad feeling we were going to flip when it looked like I was going to run over the curbing. I don't know how we just popped a wheelie and went back up on all four. It only really costed Bell very, very minimal time. Considering the worn out tires, that lap time is still less than 2 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race. Not only with the tire wear, but with the damage on the car, the front of the car specifically as well. Bell slides and around he goes. That time he got back to the gas too soon. He's been drifting in that corner all day long, and we kind of wondered if he was going to end up looping the car around, and he finally did. LaJoy, Kyle Busch, Logano all get around Bell. Hayden Madden, welcome to the stream. Logano closes on Busch. Bell closes on Logano. Wow, you really used Logano up in the international horseshoe to make the pass again to get back inside the top 10. I don't think Logano appreciated that pass at all. Bell struggled with the handling of his car here over the last 3 or 4 laps. Javi, welcome to the stream as well. Checking up in the bus there. This time he's had some mishaps there the last few laps, but not that time around. Got through there perfectly and still closed in on Corey LaJoy and Kyle Busch in front of him in the process. All going to have to try and save time in the pit lane, though, when he gets here this time around. And how he's going to do that is by not repairing any damage. Makes a nice pass on Busch in the tri-oval, as well as Corey LaJoy. Right back to 8th place now is Christopher Bell on lap 15. Not going to plan on pitting until everybody else pits on this opening stop. Just in case we see a caution. You can watch the streams Friday through Sunday. Guess you got some schooling and some work going on right now. Hey, at least you're here tonight. Welcome on into the chat. 15 likes right now on the stream. Mash the like button. We've had as many as 30 people watching the stream so far in the early going at the Daytona road course. This custom schedule season for NASCAR 21 Ignition. I also mentioned earlier when we ran that 50% race at Daytona that Austin Dillon had won his first race of the season. That was actually his second win of the season at the end of that race, so my bad on that one. Dillon also won the first race of the Pocono doubleheader last week, so that was his second win of the year. I forgot about the Pocono race already, and man, Bell almost missed the front stretch chicane. That was a very, very close moment. Super NASCAR Bros, welcome to the stream. Yeah, now up to 18 likes. Thanks for hitting that. Those of you that already did and just did, keep running that like button up. It helps the streams, these videos out quite a bit. Next race of the custom schedule season will be the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte. Followed by Las Vegas for the Pennzoil 400 in the daytime there. Maybe coming on the channel tomorrow. If I can hopefully get a patch, we definitely will. I'll test the race out. If I test it, we don't have many issues. We'll end up running it. You guys will know down in the community tab. Hopefully you get notified of it, but I'll post in the community tab before we go live tomorrow the weekly streaming schedule again for this coming week. Like I plan on doing every Mondays going forward, so you'll know for sure. But either way, we will be streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. It'll either be NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 at Dover, or it will be the Coca-Cola 600 on this custom schedule season. Haven't seen anybody pit yet. Maybe they'll make it to about that lap 20 marker, and never mind. Well, right when I said that, we have some cars on pit road as we speak. A couple of the top 7 drivers, 3 of which that were inside the top 7 and just hit pit road. So this is, again, expected to be a 3 pit stop race today. Christopher Bell going to pit this time by. That will be the plan. And not going to repair any damage is the plan for Bell. So 17-lap tire stint to start the race. Hopefully his pit crew can do a good job getting into the pits. Hopefully the AI itself doesn't make any mistakes when it takes control as soon as we hit that commitment line. And hopefully no speeding penalty for Bell as well. A little hard to have a speeding penalty at the Daytona road course. Means you have to slow down so much to get into the front stretch chicane as it is anyway. Bell cannot wait to get 4 fresh tires back on the race car again, so he can go to work and try to run down the leaders. All things considered, a not-so-bad opening run of the race. First of 3 pit stops, scheduled at least, for Christopher Bell will be starting this time around. Into the front stretch chicane. And now down onto pit road. So trying to hit that commitment line. Got to get it to 55 miles an hour and does. And into the pit lane, no issues for Christopher Bell. Let's see how this pit crew can hop aboard the 20 car and try to get as fast of a stop as they can. No adjustment changes this time around for Bell and the DeWalt team. Insta popcorn into the air. Yeah, there's a lot of glitches that I found with Daytona in this game where you have like a speed glitch where your car kind of comes to a stop. Looks like Corey LaJoy had a really fast pit stop for that 7 team. Got to use this access road. Getting up to speed here. Which is very narrow as well. Bell closes in big time, though, on Corey LaJoy into turn 4. A little loose on those cold tires. But he needs to make a pass on LaJoy very quickly here. LaJoy had a really fast stop. That tells me that the 20 team of Christopher Bell did not have a great stop at all. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream. And no caution, yeah. Yeah, we had that issue with the Daytona. Oh, man, a little bump and run to the 7 of LaJoy. That's going to knock him wide. Bell can't quite get underneath him, though. Not yet, at least. Bell going to hop in line in the draft. Yeah, I've had the speed glitch at Daytona quite a bit over the last 24 hours especially. That's why we couldn't run the night race. It's supposed to be 80 laps last night. We had so many glitches with it that I ended up having to just run it today, and then we ended up having to do it in the daytime, so we had an extra 20 laps that race, which obviously caused it to be very hectic, having a couple cautions late in the race that we would not have had if it was an 80-lapper. Would have had one of the two, but definitely led to Austin Dillon going to victory lane. Bell closes in on Corey LaJoy, beats him back to the throttle, clears him for position. This, again, is the time to shine for Christopher Bell on fresher tires. Other than missing the bus stop twice, he hasn't made a major mistake in the race. And that is why this car is running currently inside the top 10 following the first set of pit stops. The AI are great in this game. On the road courses, they are. Short tracks, kind of. You can definitely tell they run a set line. And I'd say that set line is even worse than what it would be on NASCAR Heat 5. Because their set line is so far off. Like, they'll kind of like start at the bottom, then kind of roll to the top and back to the bottom. But they'll do that on like 550 tracks. And that's just not accurate. The road courses are definitely the best part about this game, as far as the actual racing quality goes. Couple bounces off the turtles. Again, it's all right to do that when you're by yourself. It will wear the tires out a little bit more, but Bell has to check up when he's around other cars. Did we put fuel in the car? Yeah, we put fuel in the car. Why are we low on fuel all of a sudden? Our crew chief said to pit suit, and then the fuel indicator light came on too. I was starting to think that maybe when I put no damage repair, I might have put like no fuel, but no, we put fuel in it. I don't know why it's saying to pit again. I'm not gonna pit. I swear, if we come across another glitch like that tonight, we are definitely not running the Coke 600 tomorrow. Until we get the next patch. Right when I was just talking about the road courses actually being really good in this game. When you have the right settings, at least. For stability help. You might not need that to run the road courses, but for me doing the full races, that's why I have a little bit of stability help for the road courses at least. Well, the 750 tracks in general in this game. I had them for the road courses in NASCAR Heat 5 as well. I didn't have them for every 750 track, but just the road courses. But in this game, going forward, it's going to be all the 750 tracks. It was the road courses, and then the 750 ovals, I wasn't using it until the last short track at Dover. We finished 4th. But it was like the only way to get to the end of the race. Like, you could just not run a full race in this game on the 750 tracks without crash. I mean, it's hard to do that in a full race in any capacity on this game, but that one definitely does not help. The super speedways, you know, yeah, it gets strung out, but they're not that bad. My goodness. Bell could not get that car to brake when he wanted to. He goes really wide. That was costly. Like he wheel hopped to getting into the first turn. Didn't look like a lockup of the brakes at all. He just didn't roll through there well at all. Not really on cold tires anymore. He's about 4 laps into the run, but tires are not old by any means right now either. Very strange how the car did not check up the way he wanted it to. Wow, Bell is struggling with the brakes right now for whatever reason. Either that or I'm just flat out outrunning these corners. I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. Thought for a second Bell's going to put it into the tire wall that time. So curious as to how we lost so much ground in the pit lane. And we were ahead of Chastain when we came into the pits too, if I remember correctly. For sure Bell was in 7th place, but I guess not. It's like Kyle Busch scored in 8th. Ross Chastain's actually up to 6th, so he had not only a fast pit stop, but even fast enough to jump a couple cars that were ahead of him in the running order as well. Yeah, I'm not going to pit. Like, we just pit 5 laps ago. We pit at lap 17. It's lap 22 right now. I know for a fact we're not low on fuel, so... We got no damage on the rear bumper, so it's not like they couldn't get fuel in it theoretically. Like, if it was realistic in that aspect. We'll take the 17 to 18 laps again, and then we'll pit. I mean, if it stalls out, we run out of fuel. That's just terrible. I'm not pitting every 5 laps. Especially when we don't have damage to the rear of the car. Really good into the bus stop that time around. Say, outside of maybe going a little bit wider than what he wanted to once in turn 1. Then another time in the International Horseshoe. Been pretty smooth rolling since coming out of the pit lane. He got around Corey LaJoie that opening lap after coming out of the pits. Down into turn 1. This time he locks the tires up, but he actually did get it to turn. Really good corner for Bell. Definitely seems like you could see more cars per position up ahead. Heavier into the braking zone that time for Bell. Really pushing the issue. That's about as best as he has got through the bus stop today. He's had a couple times where he had some really good laps getting through there, but that time he was late in the braking zone, but he didn't lock up the tires. Rolled through there really fast, but really cleanly. And the same thing goes for the front stretch chicane. This may very well be the fastest lap of the race this time around for Christopher Bell. Yep, 151.704 that last lap for Bell. About a second and a half faster than his previous fastest lap. That was a ridiculously quick lap, for Bell. And let's see if he can replicate that here going forward. He is closed on 8th place Kyle Busch very, very quickly. Really good into the kink. Hopefully he's not going to be using those brakes up too much, but I was after kind of struggling with the brakes there only a few laps prior to running that really fast lap. But if he can get through the bus stop and the chicane on the front stretch that quick every single time, look out, field. That's just crazy. 151.704. On a 3.6 mile road course. And, well, it wasn't as good as the last time, but it wasn't bad either. He almost missed it. Definitely flirting with disaster, and the more he goes through there, lap after lap during the run, obviously the more worn out his tires are going to be. He's not going to be able to push it as hard. Got to be careful not to get too greedy. Really good into the front stretch chicane again that time as he closes in on Kyle Busch in the 18, another lap. Great corner into turn 1. Bell's been as high as 5th in the running order, but that was only in the middle of green flag pit stops. On overall speed, he's been as high as 7th. You can see Austin Dillon was the next car ahead of Busch. Really good into the kink that time for Bell. Closing the gap on Busch, and honestly, I think he's going to have a great chance to get around him, likely in the front stretch. Kane almost spun out. Getting back to the gas. Trying to pick up the throttle on top of the curbing. Hit his marks as far as the lining of the corner, but getting back to the gas is a little skaty. And he's looped the car around once. That was in turn 4. On old tires towards the end of that first tire stint of the race. Wow. Bell darts into the bus stop. Closing in on Kyle Busch some more. Less than 1 second behind him now. I think he is perhaps at striking distance if he gets into this front stretch chicane perfectly, that he should be able to pass Busch in the tri-oval. Beautifully done. And he'll pass Busch in the tri-oval for 8th. Not sure if Bell's the highest running Joe Gibbs Toyota or not, but he's one of the highest. Austin Dillon in the 3 for position, not that much further up ahead. Chastain only a couple seconds up the way in front of Dillon. These guys could be closing in on lap traffic as well. Bell's got 2 wins on road courses this season, 4 wins total. The 2 road courses of the 3 we've ran this year that he won at was Sonoma and the Indianapolis road course. 1 new to the Cup schedule, 1 that isn't new. Bell closes into the International Horseshoe on Austin Dillon. Late into the braking zone, pretty even back to the gas. Dillon might have beat him just a hair that time. Look at Bell closing the gap on Austin Dillon. Dillon swings wide, a little bit of a slide, getting back to the gas. Bell's going to try to get underneath him. Side by side now for 7th place. Bell can't quite get to that left rear corner panel, though, to side draft the 3 car, so he'll just pull in line behind him. Try to get as much of a draft as he can. Now he tries to outbrake Dylan. Into the bus stop. Side by side. This is going to get tight. Dylan. Power move. Bell with the bumper. All that did was launch Dylan further out ahead of him, though. Austin Dillon did a great job on the outside, holding into the bus stop that time. The contact launches him even further ahead of Bell, though Bell still within heavy striking distance into the front stretch chicane, assuming that there will be a checkup in the tri-oval again. There is another pass for position for Christopher Bell. Still go about another 8 to 10 laps yet on fuel. Here's Ross Chastain and Kevin Harvick in 5th and 6th. The lap traffic has been caught by Bell yet in this 7th position. Look at him close into turn 4 on Chastain. There's a little bit of contact, a bump and run to the 42. Great run into the kink. Bell is going out for Harvick. It was less than a second ahead in 5th rather. Kyle Larson in 4th. Michael McDowell in 3rd. Denny Hamlin is in 2nd, so he's the highest running Toyota. So get back up onto the oval. No, side draft doesn't really work in the game, but I still try it. I force a habit. And I'll still call it realistically because it does work in real life. For the commentary side of things here. Get Bell closed into the bus stop on Harvick. He is all over the 4 car. Great corner. Harvick may have beat him, though, through the shifts. Bell going to try to draft as much as he can in oval 3 and 4. If he's patient enough, he should beat Harvick back to the gas into the tri-oval, and that's what he's going to plan on doing. That's where he'll try to make the pass off the curbing, and he's still got the car to turn to pass Harvick there, and Bell's inside the top 5 for the first time on speed tonight at Daytona. Bell's been really good in the S's all day long. A lot of that has been because of how well he can get into turn 1. Larson, McDowell, next 2 cars up ahead, and then the lap traffic will start after that. 34 car is within a couple car lengths of the 33 of Austin Cindric. Bell almost went into the grass. Using all the curbing, almost took out the cones. That would have been a big slide going into the International Horseshoe. That wouldn't have ended pretty. Bell's all over Larson. These two have had a history this season. A couple races ago at Dover, Larson put Bell on the wall, blowing his tire. Bell came back out and turned Kyle Larson in retaliation. Clean racing this time around, though. 2 races later at the Daytona Road Course. They raced around each other on the oval earlier today as well, battling back and forth cleanly for position. I'd say the rivalry is hopefully behind him. At least for now. Look at Bell. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he blew it. Yeah, he blew the chicane big time. He got in the back of Austin Cindric as well. He'll pass Cindric. He blew the bus stop for the 3rd time today. He's going to wait till the front stretch chicane to come to a complete stop. So he's going to wait till the front stretch chicane, then come to the complete stop. Trying to get the car to slow up. Now he'll get back up to speed. Oh my, oh no! Bell spun the tires trying to get back up to speed, and the car just looped around on him. He was wide enough and out of the way into the front stretch chicane that when he came to a complete stop and then tried to get back into the gas, the car looped around on him. It happens so much in this game, no matter what track you're on. When you go from a standing start, it could just spin out at any moment. And he started sliding, and Might have been able to catch it, probably wouldn't have. But then Ross Chastain got into the right rear of him because he looped out so far into the racing line, knocking Christopher Bell back to the 9th position. Bad enough he was already going to lose time as it was. The good news is a lot of the lap traffic should cost these guys. And lock the tires up into the International Horseshoe, barely getting the car to turn in time. Actually got a really wide corner entry into the corner, arced it off well. Power slides back up onto the oval. And we're getting close to our second pit stop of the race, and we are very, very close to the halfway mark here tonight at the Daytona Road Course. Bell has blown the front stretch, or sorry, not the front stretch, but the bus stop on the back stretch at Daytona 3 times. Once during this run, twice in the opening tire stint of the race. That time he gets through there perfectly. No issues whatsoever. Cindric being passed, it looked like by, I believe, Ross Chastain there. Now lost to Dillon. Kyle Busch being held up. Busch to the outside of Dillon. Dillon going to try to shoot the gap on Cindric into the front stretch chicane. Almost some contact between Kyle Busch and Austin Dillon. And here comes the 20th Bell. He's coming in hot. Now he misses the front stretch chicane. Again, he has to come to a stop and try to get the car rolling. That is the 4th time now that he has missed a chicane in this race. First time, though, it has been on the front stretch chicane. Maybe he got a little excited when he saw the 3 to 18 side by side and nearly made contact as they were trapped behind the lap car of Austin Cindric into a heavy braking zone with nowhere to go. Busch did get around Dillon for position. They have both made their way around Cindric now after the mistake that Bell made behind them. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. We'll have 40 laps to go this time by. Oh, man. That almost took out the cones. This car is not turning at all. And into the wall goes Christopher Bell. I think when he might have caught the right front tire in the grass there. And the car just went for a slide after that point. Very lucky not to blow a tire that time. But obviously more time lost in the process to the leaders. On the flip side, the paint booth is great. I haven't really... I've maybe messed with the paint booth for less than 15 minutes. That's just not something I really, like... really got awed by with NASCAR games. Like, I just like to race. Like, I like racing games to race. Yeah, it's cool. It is cool feature, for sure. But at the same time, too, like, that's just not something that intrigues me personally. Not a very artistic person. He's going to have to go back to backing these corners up a little bit more as we're later into the tire stint. He has overstepped the car numerous times already in the race today. Only put it into the wall once, and that was a couple laps ago in the International Horseshoe. Still in the 9th place position. Gets into the kink a lot better that time around. Oh, far better than NASCAR Heat, for sure. NASCAR Heat never really had, like... I can't remember if they really had one for Heat 4. Heat 5, they had a lot more options. Not in the career mode, but like the career mode, you couldn't really do anything with your paint schemes. But the actual paint booth option itself, though, Well, then again, at the same time, you can't really do anything with the career mode paint schemes here either. Considering you have to run a set race car. Well, no surprise Chase Elliott's in the lead. I did notice that. Kind of figured that after he started on the pole. So Logano in the career mode led every lap at the Daytona Road Course race. And I wonder in this custom schedule season if Chase Elliott can lead every lap in the Daytona Road Course race. Elliott with 1 win so far this season. 1 car in the pit lane right now. Can't tell who it is. Looked like it was the 48 of Alex Bowman. Wasn't in the top 10. He is coming off a top 5 earlier today on the Daytona Oval. Running down the lap car of Austin Cindric into turn 4. This car is not turning at all. I mean the car would turn if it could brake. The problem is we couldn't get the car. We were struggling to get this car to brake later into the tire stent, even worse than the first time around, but I think that's because we have more damage than what we did in the first tire stent of the race. We had very minimal damage the first tire stent, a lot more this time. I think it's just making the car tighter all the way around. When you factor the tire wear in on top of it, it just makes it worse and worse and worse. Southern Farms, welcome to the stream. Surprisingly had some good battles on the track with the AI in this. Yeah, the road courses are definitely far and away, in my opinion, the best tracks on this game. If you have the right settings, on the 750 ovals, they can be entertaining like we had with Dover the other night. But it's unfortunate you have to mess with the settings so much to try and find that sweet spot, though. And you even have to do it with the road courses, too, for the most part. But it does come a little easier. Bell gets around the first lap car, Cindric finally. He passed him earlier, but he had to give it back up because he blew the front stretch chicane. Kyle Busch is trapped right now trying to pass 2 lap cars. Austin Dillon not only has gotten back around him, but has really pulled away from him here. Busch struggling with the lap cars, and the lap cars not only getting in the way of Busch that time, as we see a lot of cars coming into the pit lane. Christopher Bell makes a pass into turn 1. Bell locks the tires up. The car still not turning. Is he going to clobber the wall? No, he misses it. He misses the wall. He's off into the grass. Contact now with the 99 of Suarez, sending him into the grass. What a save by Daniel Suarez. And James Davidson just brake checks right in front of the 20 of Bell. And almost gets turned off the front bumper of Christopher. I think Davidson is one of the lap cars. So was Suarez. That Bell had gotten around in the tri-oval. Chain reaction of events there. Pass Suarez back in oval 1 and 2 this time. Bell's currently scored 5th. Again, he pit at lap 17, so lap 34 would be the next scheduled pit stop for Bell, taking it as far as what he did. It seems like the couple drivers that just pit right there actually pitted a little bit before what they did the previous time. About a lap or 2 shy. Bell's going to take this race in even 17 lap stints, it seems like, here today. So he'll stay out of the pits again. Almost missing the chicane. He did have 2 tires up on the curb for it not to be a penalty, but boy, he came close. Definitely having a hard time to get this car to slow up. Now in the 4th position. Why is Brendan Gaughan in the 62 car? Shouldn't that be Noah Gragson? Brendan Gaughan's retired. For our point season's sake, we're going to say it's Noah Gragson. I don't know why Gaughan's in the 62. There's Austin Dillon for position as well. I wonder if Bell can... I don't think he's going to pass him before he pits, considering Bell will pit this time by. They swap drivers sometimes, Noah and Brendan in the 62. Yeah, but Brendan, not in real life, for one. For two, Brendan Gaughan's retired now, so that doesn't even make any sense. I don't think the game was supposed to do that. And Gaughan, the only driver who was in the 62 this year was Noah Gragson in the Daytona 500, and that's it. Bell into the front stretch chicane right now. Trying to push and close in on Austin Dillon. Dillon going to pit this time, so is Bell. 55 miles an hour is the pit road. Those cars are speeding coming into the pits. There's no way they're not. Oh well. 4 tires and fuel for Christopher Bell, his second stop of the day. 217 lap tire stint so far. Oh my goodness, what is... I think we had a light pole just... I don't know if Christopher Bell's all right after that one. It looked like there was like a light pole glitching right in the center of the race car. No wrecks coming into the pit lane at all today. Again, for some reason, the road courses seem to be more accurate in this game with that. Corey LaJoie again has a faster pit stop. Sorry, no, LaJoie was pulling into his box. There's Austin Dillon, and it seems like Christopher Bell had a faster stop. Oh, then Dillon himself, Bell almost missed the access road there. Caught a little bit of the grass of the right side tires, and that kind of hurt him. Dillon going to pull away briefly. Bell get back up to speed, though quicker than Austin Dillon when they get back onto the actual racing surface. And into turn 4, Bell shoots by Dillon for position. So a fast pit stop that time around for Bell. A lot faster than the first stop was. Keegan Allmendinger, welcome to the stream. Another new glitch to NASCAR 21 Ignition. If I had a nickel for every time we had a different glitch, or just a glitch at all, with these full race live streams, or even the career mode races. Like if you guys watched the career mode premiere that was released earlier this afternoon at the Homestead Miami Speedway, definitely go back and watch it. We had some crazy glitches in that game, including the end of the race. We had a pace car glitch where the pace car was on the racetrack. We were caught under caution, but we were like passing him, and other cars were passing him, and they were wrecking into the pace car. It was just I had no control over the car. It was all the AI that was controlling everything. So. It's just crazy. Cindric DNF or DNQ? I don't know. I mean, he was a lap down. Cindric was a lap down before the pit stop, so I wouldn't be surprised if he still scored in last, a lap down, because I believe that's where he was anyway, was in last place, 1 lap down. Lap cars like James Davidson, Daniel Suarez had faster pit stops than even Christopher Bell as well. So 62. We'll just say it's Noah Gragson. I'm not going to give Gaughan any points. We haven't seen him in a race all season. Noah Gragson will get scored the points for the 62 car here today. Bell really wide in turn 4. Austin Dillon closes back in on him. Ross Chastain's up to 4th. He's slowly moving forward in this race. Can he be the 11th different winner this season? We've got 10 races until the playoffs once the checkered flag flies tonight at the Daytona Road Course. Will we get that 11th different winner in this race? Drivers who have already won who are in the top 10. Bell with 4 wins. Austin Dillon with 2 wins. Denny Hamlin with 2 wins. Chase Elliott, the leader, with 1 win already. You got Michael McDowell in the top 5. Ross Chastain in the top 5. Both winless on the season. I'd say both upset winners, considering McDowell in real life never won a race coming into this season, so he wouldn't have a win as far as this season goes on the game in his career, and neither would Ross Chastain. Chastain's still looking for his first win in real life as well. Harvick in 7th place without a win this year, as far as our season goes. Can he get into the playoffs? Well, flies around the lap car of Daniel Suarez. I think next time I go to a road course, I'm going to run manual transmission. I've been using automatic in this game on the road course. It's just because I know I'm going to suck with the shifting, and I don't want that to take us out of a chance to win. I'm good at the shifting when I have to shift. It's just the controls are different. If there was a way to have it as R1, L1, I would have it on like I always do. A lot of string of lap cars right now seem to be holding up the field. Kyle Busch, also, he's got 1 win on the season, and he's in the top 10, currently scored in 6th. But it is nice to know Bell had a much faster second stop than when he did that first stop. They still have 1 more pit stop to go before the end of the race. When on fresh tires, though, Bell definitely rolls through these corners really, really well. Really smooth. Those first 10 laps of the run, I don't think he's made a mistake all day within the first 10 laps of a tire stint. The lap cars, Busch had to maneuver around that last lap. Bell's coming in hot into the front stretch of Kane. Almost didn't get the car to turn enough in time there. He was pushing it extremely hard. Got 2 tires up on the curbing. He's missed the front stretch chicane once today. And that's the second time he's only gotten the right side tires on the turtles, on the curbing. Closing in on a couple of the front row lap cars. Anthony Alfredo. Sorry, no, that's not David Reagan. That's Kevin Harvick, who struggled to get around the 38 of Alfredo. Bell didn't really struggle to get around Anthony. Locks the tires up into turn 4. Almost makes contact with Harvick, but he makes the clean pass instead for 7th place. Harvick is slowly going backwards as we get into the early going of the second half of tonight's race. Bell almost knocked out the cone. That's like the 3rd time we've almost knocked out the cones today. Pushing hard into the kink. Or the heavy braking zone in the International Horseshoe. A lot of heavy braking zones around this racetrack. Equates for a lot of good passing opportunities, even with a tighter infield portion of the racetrack. Michael McDowell back to fifth, still in the top 5 though. And he's actually the next car ahead of Kyle Busch, so 5th and 6th are up for grabs within probably the next lap for Christopher Bell. Bell closes into the bus stop. Trying to get the car to turn. Oh my goodness! And he gets into Busch! No! Kyle Busch goes around! Bell overcooked it. Christopher Bell overcooked it. They were side by side into the bus stop. Bell was on the inside in the middle of it, and he knocks Kyle Busch into the grass, and Busch goes for a spin. The 2 Joe Gibbs Racing teammates have gotten together. And Kyle Busch gets the worst of it. That's the 2nd time Bell has spun another Toyota driver out in the bus stop. First he got into the back of Bubba Wallace earlier, an affiliated teammate. Now he gets into a legitimate teammate of Kyle Busch. Hate to see it. Oh, what a move in the S's. Bell sets up McDowell and will pass him in turn 4 for 5th. And stays clear off the exit of turn 4 as he deals with the lap cars. Quickly pulls around the 43 of Eric Jones before having to get into the next section of the racetrack, which was the kink. Now into the International Horseshoe again. Ryan Priest in the third, or sorry, that's the 77, Justin Haley, not the 37 of Priest. 77 of Haley gets passed. Back into the shifting on throttle section of the racetrack. No stability works better for you in Heat 5? Yeah, not for me. My lap times are 10 times quicker when I have a little bit of stability out. That and I've become accustomed of where I have to shift the car as well. Where I have to brake to make the shifts. Ryan Newman with a little bit of a pink out race car. That Castrol scheme, excuse me. Newman back in 33rd though. One of his worst runs of the season so far. Bell got around to getting back into Oval 3 and 4. Ooh, Bell with a big bounce off the turtle that time with the left side tires. Great getting back to the gas though. Closes in on Matt DiBenedetto, the next lap car in front of him into the tri-oval, and he's only about a second behind Ross Chastain in the 42. Bell drives it in deep into turn 1. Oh, contact with DiBenedetto. Bell slid up the track a little bit into turn 1, but DiBenedetto also kind of cut down into him at the same time as they were just kind of fighting for the same spot on the racetrack. Bell outbrakes Ross Chastain into turn 4. Contact out the 42, a little bump and run, almost turns the 20 car around. It is enough for Bell to clear, though. Chastain lets him in line. Bell being aggressive on this lap. Making some passes. Checked up big time in the International Horseshoe behind the 16 of Kaz Grala. Bell gets around him after backing the corner up. Race high 4th place position for Christopher Bell. Quickly, Bell's pulling away from Ross Chastain as well. After the bump and run, Chastain took a little bit of time getting around the 16 of Kaz Grala. Great run, getting back to the gas! Oh my goodness! Completely taking out that left rear corner panel of Daniel Suarez. In the process, Bell hangs on to the race car enough. It's the 3rd time he's gotten into the gas maybe a little too soon and trying to pass another car. Off the exit of the front stretch chicane, passes Quinn Houff before entering the S's. Definitely a lot of lap traffic, more lap cars in this stretch than any other stretch we've had so far. Still caution free. Bell has won 4 of the caution-free races we have had this season. In fact, the only 4 caution-free races we've had this year, Bell went to victory lane. He has not won a race in which we did not have a caution, so this could be lane in Christopher Bell's lap as he continues to progress forward. Outbreaks BJ McLeod now. And we are still 1 pit stop left at the end of the race. Bell's really hoping for more of what happened on the last stop, which is making it quick and efficient. We cannot have what happened on the first stop where it was really, really slow for this 20 team. So many different winners and no stage racing on the line. It's going to be hard to earn playoff points this season. You have to simply win to get playoff points. And points in general. So running well in the first half of the race doesn't really equate to anything as far as the regular season standings go, and as we enter into the playoffs as well. Used to the 96, tied down 99 is Suarez. Yeah, I've called Suarez in the 96 a couple times with the full race live streams in this game, so definitely still trying to get used to these drivers in new places. New faces and new places in this game. Big run right down the tri-oval. Bell had a great draft off the 48 of Bowman. Bowman closes in quickly. Rick Ware car right in front of him. That would be the 53 of Joey Gase side by side into the S's. Oh my goodness, they almost made contact. That was really, really close. I think that's the first time Bell's legitimately gone side by side all the way through the S's with another car today, and even with a much slower 26th place car, Joey Gase. That was a tough time trying to clear him. Bell is not wanting to give up any extra time, though, now that we're in the final 34 laps of this race. He has not led yet. They're starting at the rear. It has been a very slow climb, with no stages and no cautions in general. It's been tough. Strategy has been pretty equal with the rest of the field so far. Just got to keep digging. Kyle Larson third, Denny Hamlin second, Chase Elliott still the leader. Really good corner into the bus stop that time for Christopher Bell. Great set of corners again. A lot of clean air in front of him, too. He's got no lap cars anywhere close in his vicinity. Looks like he's about 13.5 seconds behind Kyle Larson. That's going to be tough to gain on the racetrack just to get up to Larson third, considering how fast of a car Larson's got. Bell can hit his marks in the chicane like he did this lap. This is going to be one of his faster laps of the race. It's got to be. His fast lap was at 151.704 during the last tire snap. This time around, 152.496. Still about 0.7 of a second slower. He is further into the run, though, as well. Having a hard time trying to get the car to turn in turn one. Lock the brakes up a little bit towards the end there. Oh, pushing wide. Back in the gas too soon, perhaps. Slowed his time up, though, into the kink. Which then would have slowed him up on corner entry a bit as well into the International Horseshoe, so he's able to carry a little bit deeper into the braking zone there. Back up to his normal pacing into that final corner before getting back up onto the oval. I mean, we can definitely cut Motorsport Game a little bit of slack. Don't get me wrong. The only reason they're not really getting any... Oh, man, we just blew through this. Bell's got to come to a stop. Blowing through the backstretch chicane. Just completely missed it. So tough to get into rhythm on these longer road courses, and obviously that's going to knock Bell out of his rhythm here. Hopefully he can get back in it in the front stretch chicane and quickly get that momentum back. It's the fourth time now that he has blown that backstretch chicane today. That bus stop on the Daytona Super Stretch. Pulling the front stretch chicane once as well. It's costly. I mean, it costs so much time, and you wonder if those 5 penalties will stack up. And that could be the difference maker in where Bell finishes in this race today, especially with no cautions to try and even the playing field. I mean, all that time interval-wise will cost him. and make this a much closer race at the finish if he can get to the leaders versus what it would have been otherwise. And we're still early enough, too, and we could see more penalties. We'll have 26 laps to go at the Daytona Road Course this time by. As we get closer and closer to the end of this race, just over an hour and a half in. Oh! Definitely didn't cut the exit to the bus stop very well that time. I thought we were going to go jumping off of the turtle there for a second. I had to brake heavily at the last second and kind of turn to the right just to keep the car from jumping off that turtle. We did it earlier. We did like a wheelie. Popped up on only the two rear tires. The two front tires came up off the ground. Then we landed back. Slammed back down on all four. We got very lucky. We didn't like lose control or anything when it happened. I was not about to go through that. We got lucky to get through it once with really no issue, not really cost us any time. I doubt we could have that happen again. Wow, that car's just not turning in turn one. Sliding off towards the grass. Talk about time killed. With the penalties, that's the fourth time he has gone wide into the grass today, and the third time he has done that in turn 4. The other time was in the International Horseshoe when he actually put it in the wall earlier, and that was the only time he really got into the wall. Tires are getting older, though. At this point in the run, about 11 laps into the run. Fell heavy into the braking zone. I didn't think I was going to get the car slowed up that time. Extra aggressive for having a little bit older tires, but it wasn't perfect. The entry was perfect, but the exit, he might have rolled back into the gas a little too soon there. Not as badly as he did the lap before, but... But anyway, yeah, to go back to it, I cut Motorsport Games a little bit of slack. Don't get me wrong, it is their first game in the series. I think we just should have known as a community for sure, the fans should have known that this issue should have been coming. Oh my goodness, Bell is on the brakes in turn 1, can't get the car to turn, and he still slides into the guardrail. That was pretty bad. Got very lucky, didn't blow a right front tire when he made contact with the wall. Just kind of does that from time to time. It's like you get into the braking zone and the car just doesn't turn. I would have to think it's got to do with the older tires because we haven't done that in the first 10 laps of a run. It's been after 10 laps into the run when we seemingly may burn our tires up a little bit more. But with no like force feedback like into the controller, it's kind of hard to like tell that though. It just kind of does it. You don't really have like a warning of it actually happening. At 24 laps to go now this time by. I'll pause it for a quick second here. I got a pop-up covering the chat. Couldn't read you guys' chat there for a quick second. Oh gosh. I paused it. That was probably bad to do that in the middle of a corner. it's a good thing we had a little bit of stability help on with it being a road course, and if we didn't, then I think we probably would have spun out right there. Just kind of throws you back into the track when you pause it and unpause it in this game. Feels like you just kind of like bounce. Really wide in turn one again. That actually wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be just like the lap before, but it actually wasn't too bad. And he was able to get back into the gas a little early with the wider entry. Barely got all four tires into that grayer area of the racetrack where there's really no rubber laid down. We'll have to came to patch before Christmas. I mean, they said they, got some patches already. Again, if you have a PC, the latest patches already came out, but I can't confirm, what it's fixed, if it's fixed anything at all, with the issues I've been having, because it hasn't gotten to PS4 yet. And from what I've heard, it hasn't gotten to Xbox yet either. I would assume it will be very, very close to being on the way. It's been up on PC for like 2 or 3 days now, though, so I'm surprised it hasn't gotten to the PlayStation Store yet or Microsoft Store for Xbox. But wheel's super. Yeah. There's no force feedback in the wheel. No vibration with the controller. It's definitely makes it really, really tough. Good run to the bus stop that time. I believe that's more lap cars up here. William Byron, rather. Back-to-back top two finishes. Finished second on the Daytona Oval earlier today after qualifying second on the front row. Great overall day for him. And then, of course, 2 nights ago at Dover, he was able to get his first win of the season, locking himself into the playoffs as the 10th different winner of the year. It was a Toyota-dominated season to start. Chevrolet has really picked up the slack in the middle of the season, still waiting on Ford to try and do the same. And if they do that late in the regular season, it is going to be an epic battle to see who's going to win the championship. Bell's got the most wins, and Hamlin is second with the points lead, but it's just, I'd say Hamlin's the favorite right now, but I wouldn't say it's by much. Anybody could really just go out and win a race at this point. We haven't seen much consistency from anybody on this season, as Bell is going to be Byron on the outside, getting back to the gas in turn 4. He'll slide into the kink that time. Bell was riding the brakes a little bit. Why the car slid out. Didn't slide out completely from underneath him, though, and he'll close in on the 17 of Buescher. Trying to make a pass here. He will, into the heavy braking zone. Yeah, my controller doesn't vibrate at all. I think it does if I make contact. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it does. It might. If it's loose or something? No, it doesn't. Not like in other games. Into the bus stop. 52 car of Josh Bilicki in 22nd. Bell powers past him. Kyle Larson's about 9.5 seconds ahead. So Bell's closed in 4 seconds on Larson during this entire run, but he's really relying on this third and final pit stop being very good, and he's also relying on Larson and the other drivers inside the top 3 to struggle in lap traffic here over the final 22 laps of the race. So that's all we've got left now, 22 to go. Bell's actually up to third. I think one of the lead lap cars pit already. Pitting that early, though, is actually kind of surprising. Larson to second, so I'm not sure who it was that just pit. But with 22 to go, I don't think they can make it on fuel. They're going to be quite a ways short. Bell's next scheduled stop would be lap 51, but that would be about 18 laps to the end of the race after that. He's going to give up time, but if he's going to make it on gas to the end of the race here, that might be the way to go. Denny Hamlin's in fourth, so the second place driver of Hamlin was the first car to hit pit road from the top three. Hopefully didn't make an unscheduled stop, and it was an issue. It'd be a tough break for one of the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers. That'd be a huge break for Bell. I know it's his teammate, but as far as the regular season point standings go, remember Bell's coming in on back-to-back top 10s in this race, and he has beaten Hamlin each of the last two races, only by a couple spots at the Daytona Oval today. Hamlin finished 9th, Bell finished 7th, but beat him by quite a few spots at Dover a couple races ago, where Hamlin finished 11th, Bell finished 4th. NASCAR 21 Ignition, welcome to the stream. We'll have to see when Larson and Elliott end up pitting next. I think that's Larson pulling into the pits now. I wonder if Elliott is already in. Bell going to stay out at least to lap 51 here, which would have been his next scheduled stop 17 laps into the run. Yep, so Elliott is still on the track. Larson pit that last time, though. Bell's going to go wide into turn 1 again. That time he was just kind of rolling back into the throttle maybe a little too soon. Not so much a braking issue that time around. Bell coming in hot into the horseshoe. And he's going to go wide. In the grass. Eating away at the lap time. He has Blaney on fresher tires in 20th place behind him. Closing in on Bell in a hurry. Fresh tires definitely a huge advantage here. DB Forever 85, welcome to the stream. 20 laps to go at the Daytona Road Course this time by. They'll actually pull Blaney in the bus stop that time by a couple tenths of a second. Elliott's only about 7.5 seconds. Well, he might actually be in the pit lane right now, so that's why Bell's closing in quite quickly. In that case, it wouldn't be that surprising. Oh, man, Bell, big bounces off the turtles. We are lap 51. Elliott still has not pit, neither has Bell. With Larson and Hamlin pitting with 21 and 22 laps to go in the race, Larson pit with 21 to go, Hamlin pit with 22 to go. Can they even make it on fuel at the end? My calculations say the pit window the last time we were here at the Daytona Road Course was 15 to 18 laps. Bell's pit after 17 laps. The first two runs, this is his 17th lap of this run. He's going to go one more so he can make it 18 and 18 on the final two stops. That we know he can make it on fuel, so he's going to stay out one more lap here. I don't know if he can make it 19 laps here. That's not going to be worth the risk. Try and go 17 to the end after that. He'll just go 18 and 18, but he should be able to make it, no problem. It's not going to be like Sonoma where we had to stretch the fuel tank an extra lap or two at the end. We'll contact with Brad Keselowski getting back up onto the oval now. Sideswiping the 2 on the way by. Luckily, he didn't cut a tire down on the 20, or the 2 car for that matter. Keselowski a lap down at 19th. Again, Bell staying out this time around. Not sure if Chase Elliott pit that last time by or not. A couple of the lap cars did. Joy's been pitting every 17 laps so far as well. I'm surprised Elliott's going a little bit further this run. I guess the only thing that doesn't surprise me with that is the fact that now he could definitely make it to the end. I guess we only have 19 to go. Now, I guess, again, by the time Bell comes out of the pits, it'll only be 18 laps. So it's been 18 laps into the run so far. He's going to pit this time by, split 18 and 18. Man, just to the end of the race, I really hope that didn't completely outrun him. He may have caught the grass of that right front tire. It's the second time he's done that today. The first time he ended up in the wall. So Bell will pit this time. Likely not going to make it another lap on fuel. So he's definitely going to lose time to Larson and Hamlin, who have pit well before him. Still ran a 154.069 that last lap. All things considered, on old tires, not too bad. Well, we know Chase Elliott and Christopher Bell are going to be able to make it to the end of the race on one more stop. Not completely going to say that, though, for Denny Hamlin and Kyle Larson. Larson's still looking for his first win of the year. He ran out of fuel coming to the white flag at Sonoma. But he's going to have to go 21 laps. I don't think anybody can go longer than 18 in this race. So Bell is coming into the pits this time. Can't speed. There you see Elliott further up ahead, already in the pits. No adjustments for Bell. AI pulls into the pit box perfectly. Bell has not led all day. So the 9 and the 20 are in the pits. Their final stop of the day. Hamlin, short pit. We got the light post in the pit. Stabbing Christopher Bell right in the spleen. Oh, right down his spinal cord. Cody Ware just pulling into his pit box as well. Again, Bell will cycle back out in fourth place where he was running, it looks like. Going to try to hit his marks perfectly this time, getting up to speed. He hasn't really done that today. He will now. Third time's a charm. Onto the access road as Bell comes out of the pit lane. Now you got to go hard to the end. 18 laps to the finish. This is the final run. After the third and final stop of the day. He is basically racing Chase Elliott for the win, knowing that Larson and Hamlin are short on fuel. Elliott and Bell are going to be good. Yeah, it's the second time we saw that light post, like, right in the cockpit of the race car. Right through the windshield. It's like Larson's like 18 and a half seconds ahead of Bell now. I think Bell had a pretty quick stop like he did on his second stop of the race. The real problem and the real issue was mainly that time around just because he stayed out about 4 laps longer than Larson, and Larson was able to gain about 9 to 9.5 seconds on Christopher Bell. Now Bell's going to have fresher tires for a good 4 to 8 lap stretch before they even out. At least on the 11 and the 5, but again, those two will probably have to pit before the end of the race. Big bounce off the curb. Oh, Bell just got 2 tires up on the curbing on the front stretch chicane, but boy, that was close. He almost missed the front stretch chicane that time, but boy, he is pushing hard. Extremely hard, trying to get back into this race. Gonna go wide in turn 1. And power back into the gas that late that time, but gotta be careful not to overstep the race car. Bell may be doing that right now. Could be a second straight top 5 and a third straight top 10 on this custom schedule season for Bell. But he won't lose any more spots to the end of the race. I think he'll get up to second. I just don't know if he'll catch Elliott. Chase Elliott has led every lap from the pole in this race today. Elliott trying to become the 4th driver to win 2 or more races on this custom schedule season. His last win was at Martinsville in the 8th race of the season. It's the 16th. Maybe Elliott's going to win every 8 races. Maybe that's the trend. If that's the case, he'll get 4 wins this year. It's not impossible, I guess. He's on that kind of pace. Won 5 races in his championship season in 2020. Let's see why he can't win 4 in this 2021 NASCAR video game, the year off of his championship. First time for you to see that. Yeah, that happened earlier in the race, too. The 2nd and 3rd stop of the day. You never know if we end up seeing a caution as well. Again, Bell, in the only 4 races that went caution-free this season, he won. This could potentially be the 5th. We're only 16 laps away from the checkered flag. Fuel mileage race for at least Hamlin and Larson, but they're in 2nd and 3rd. I think they were just trying to short pit. They definitely did not take it as long as they typically did every other run, and maybe they were banking on trying to gain track position to hopefully get a yellow. I don't know what the deal was there for those 2 guys, especially Hamlin. He's definitely not going to make it. He's 4 laps short by my calculations. Larson's about 3 laps short, at least. Unless they short pit each of these final 2 runs, but I just don't see that working out for him. It's coming out of the pits, though. Bell's had a lot of clean air. He hasn't had to pass a single car yet. Hasn't really made that minor mistake slipping up off the track yet either. He's pushing hard, and he's pushing pretty good. I mean, he's running lap times that are only about 0.4 of a second off at the most off his best time in the race, which was ran all the way back before lap 30 during the 2nd run where he ran that 151.704. Oh no! Off the curb, and Bell has barrel rolled it. He had hit that curb earlier and it did not flip. And I believe he has blown a tire. Left front, I believe, is down after hitting the turtle. He might be all right. No, the left front's down. You've got to be joking me. Well, so much for winning the race for Christopher Bell. He's going to have to make an unscheduled pit stop. I wonder if he can get back to 2nd on Hamlin and Larson, but his chance of catching Elliott to the end of the race are done. Having to make an extra pit stop. We hit that curve earlier and we didn't have that happen. That time it just... And Bell's only lost 1 position in this. He's still in 5th, but any shot he had of winning the race is over unless Elliott crashes out at this point. Bell's going to have even fresher tires. He's going to try to run down Chastain for position, and then that would get him back to 4th place, and knowing Hamlin and Larson are short on fuel, maybe he could catch them still, having fresher tires here. But he is banking on a caution, a big flip in the bus stop off the turtle, and then slamming into the outside wall upside down. Now he's only got to go 15 laps on these tires to the end, so not as bad as 17 to 18 laps like he's done all day, but still... And the light pole in the car, too. I wasn't even paying attention that time. I guess the light pole was back in the car. And no adjustments, just trying to get this car back out on the racetrack again. That's just unfortunate. curbs are there for sole purpose. First time we hit the curb, though, we didn't have that happen, and then the second time we hit it. It's a shame to only hit that curb twice the whole race. And you happen to flip the second time, like, in a full race, too. Like, we've hit our marks going through there all day long. Like, that would not happen in real life. You would pop up on two tires, you'd maybe get a little squirrely, you might spin out, you know, lose traction. That's fine if we were to do that in this game. But no, in this game, you just barrel roll. And you blow a tire, and you have to pit. Like, come on, man. Cost us a shot at the win. It was going to be tough to catch Elliott, but at least we had a chance. Now we don't have a chance at all. I'm assuming Bell's still on the lead lap if we got a caution late, but if that didn't bring out a caution, with all the cars spaced out after 3 pit stops in the race and with it being a 3.6 mile road course, I don't think we're going to see a caution today. It definitely caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting that. Again, considering that we hit the curb earlier and that didn't happen, we just kind of popped up on 2 wheels and didn't really lose much time from it. It was just kind of a normal situation. But I knew that was a possibility and why I didn't want to hit the curbs. Yeah, exactly. I kind of figured that too there, Reese. That's exactly why the stages aren't in the game. I personally don't mind that the stages aren't in the game. Oh, we're going to blow the chicane again. You got to be joking. Oh, Bell coming to a stop. Now the 5th time he has blown the bus stop today. That's going to hurt his chances of trying to catch Chastain. It looks like he's about 13 seconds behind the 42 car yet. I wonder when he pit last, if Bell might have a chance to get around to him as well. We know if he has to make another stop that Bell's definitely going to end up passing Chastain. The next 2 races of the custom schedule season will be at Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. And then at Las Vegas for the Pennzoil 400. Our first 2 trips to each of those racetracks in NASCAR 21 Ignition on the channel. I've ran at Vegas on the career mode. You guys haven't seen it yet because it has not been uploaded as the premiere yet, but I have recorded a race there. So I do have some experience there. I do know the pit window. I would assume Charlotte's pit window will be the same, for considering it's a 1.5 miles for the AI and for us as well. So. Again, we'll hope for the best. This is the first time that Bell has completely missed. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Fuck! God. Why? I know we're pushing hard and we're hitting the turtle, but... Damn it. Gotta be joking. It's twice in like 3 laps now. That time we didn't flip. But we were on 2 wheels hard long enough that we ended up in the wall. Well, Bell already had to make one unscheduled stop in the last 20 laps of the race. Now he has to make another. The light post, again, is in Bell's lap, essentially. In the pit lane. That frustrates me. And now Bell's outside of the top 10. To start at the rear of the field. Yeah, I mean, we've only flipped once. Which for a full race, again, it's just saying something in the sense that I can hit my marks. All things considered to run these full races. But when the game glitches like that and you flip on the turtles and you're not supposed to flip. And now Bell's back to 16th. He got away with one, only losing one position. And now he's back to 16th. Only got 12 laps to go. He may be a lap down now. I would not be surprised if... Yeah, Chase Elliott, I think, is ahead of him. I would have to imagine after making 2 unscheduled stops that Bell is probably a lap down. If that's the case, then we actually have 11 laps to go. Sand Shark, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I didn't watch the F1 race today. I have no clue what happened, who won. Bell's going to try to get as many of these positions back here at the end of the race as possible. Hope some guy's short-pitted enough that he can get back inside the top 10. Definitely not going to catch Chastain or Hamlin, unless Chastain pits still, but... I'm getting in the habit of hitting those turtles now. It's the 4th time we've hit the turtle. Twice it didn't hurt us, and then twice it did. And once we flipped. Inside Uranus, welcome to the stream. While you're in the chat, Inside Uranus, you got to make sure you message me on Instagram about Auto Club. Get that situated. Assuming that you're still planning on Auto Club, but I remember you saying something. Oh, man. In the super chat, I'm surprised Keselowski didn't get completely ran over. Bell on the fresher tires getting into turn 1. Side by side into the S's as he shuts the door on Keselowski. That was aggressive. 2nd time Bell's gone side by side in the S's today. Both times he was able to make the pass. That was on a much faster car than the Rick Ware car he tried to pass earlier in the S's. But luckily the fresher tires and allowed Bell to make that pass. Dives underneath Cole Custer very aggressively. Can do this again, though, with the fresh tires, and he makes another pass. To 13th. Chase Briscoe, next car ahead of him, and I believe Austin Dillon only a couple seconds ahead of Briscoe in 12th and 11th. Has 6 cars in less than 10 laps. Yeah, that's impressive. Well, that's why he is a, what, 7-time champ? Finally, Bell hits his marks perfectly in the bus stop. We'll do must trade Instagram first. Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be Twitter, too. I don't really use my Twitter, so I may miss it. That's the only reason I say Instagram. Oh, man, Bell had a wheel spin there getting back to the gas. Really, the first time tapping in the front stretch chicane today. Still getting a really good draft, though, off the 14 of Chase Briscoe. He's going to pull out a line, try to make that pass to the inside into turn 1. Ooh, boy, slipped the rear tires. A little bit of a wheel hop that's going to force him wide. He at least cleared the 14 car, though, first. And now he's up back inside the top dozen again. So Bell trying to rally to get that 3rd straight top 10, potentially a back-to-back top 5 finish. Maybe we get a caution. Yeah, he's 7-time champ. Yeah, I don't really know much about F1, but I thought I heard that he was a 7-time champ. Oh, Austin Dillon! Well, they mean blocked that time on Christopher Bell. And Bell's just going to move him out of the way in the International Horseshoe. He's like, hey, wait a minute, I got fresher tires. I don't know why you're blocking. He was not going to hold on for these final 10 laps. Back up onto the oval. Bell underneath Justin Haley now. It'll make the pass on him cleanly. A little bump and run on Dillon after Dillon threw a bad block. On Christopher Bell entering in between the kink and the International Horseshoe. Evan Gord 23, welcome to the stream. Man, Bell coming in hot. He's pushing hard. Trying to get every spot back he can. What lap did I flip? I don't even know. Was it 56? I think it was lap 56. It wasn't that long ago. 54, something like that. Stupid. Running in 4th place with a shot to win. Just had to run the whole race perfectly just to get to that situation. And the second time you hit the turtle, you just so happen to flip. And the first time we hit it, we didn't really have a mistake at all. Just kept running. A wheel hop in major. All trying to pass Ryan Newman in the S's. He's being more aggressive. Especially in that area of the racetrack. It's the 3rd pass he's made in the second half of the race alone there. He didn't make any passes in the S's in the first half of the race. Getting back to the gas there on DiBenedetto. Getting a little sideways, punching it back to the throttle. He can do that on fresher tires. He only got to go 12 laps to the end of the race on this set of tires. So they're not really going to be that old at the very end. Big wheel hop by the 43 of Eric Jones. Little bump there from Christopher Bell. Bell underneath Half. They'll make the pass on him in oval 1 and 2. And I'm not sure Bell's a lap down. If he is, we only have 8 laps to go for Bell himself to the end of the race. Some drivers will have to pit the closing lap. Some will not. We know Elliott is good to the end. But Bell's going to miss the chicane. Good enough. Oh, man. Quinn Half coming in hot. I thought we were low enough out of the way. Half took an extremely low line. He gets back around Bell. We blew the bus stop once again. Hopefully it's the last time. Oh, and he cleans Half out. Overruns the front stretch chicane, and honestly, he was going to miss the front stretch chicane if he didn't get into Half, but it actually corrected Bell's car back in the right direction, and Howe gets dumped off the front bumper of the 20. That was the 3rd driver to get spun off the 20 car today. Bell got lucky he actually hit Howe, because otherwise he was not going to make the chicane. Are you struggling to use Instagram? Yeah, down in the description below, you can follow me on Instagram. Anybody can. Instagram, Twitter. Not active highly on both, but when I go to the racetrack and stuff, I'm active on Instagram. I'll try to be more active on Twitter next season. Well, there we go. Bell still rallied. 2 unscheduled stops in the final 20 laps of the race alone. Truex caught behind the 78 of BJ McLeod. That slowed him down a ton. Bell flies around BJ McLeod now into the braking zone on Truex in the 19. Bell trying to get the car to turn. Oh, he cut it. He cut it. Got to come to a stop again. Lets Truex back by, and he's going to lose a lot of time trying to get back onto the throttle. A couple lap cars will get back by him again. Try to cut off the 43 of Eric Jones, who will be the next lap car. got the speed to be able to get back to Truex. And Truex pits this time. I think Kurt Busch ahead of him also pit. So that will get Bell back inside the top 10 with 7 laps to go. And he's back to 7th. Really wide in turn 1. My goodness. Barely keeping the car on the asphalt, but he had to use a lot of excess pavement to do it. Handling has gone away with the damage of the race car over the second half of this race, but my goodness. Underneath BJ McLeod. Ooh. I don't know if that was the 78 or the 20 that skirted the tires there. Well, made a really good pass. Might have been McLeod, and that could have been what really opened the door on top of the fresh tires for Bell to be able to get around BJ. Did I go to Phoenix Raceway this year for the championship? Me personally, no. There were some NASCAR YouTubers that went there. I did not. A lot of those guys don't even know, like, I have a YouTube channel. I've met up with Winfowl and with Danny B. Danny B Talks. You know, I talked to them for a few minutes at the racetrack before, but I never mentioned that I had a channel. I didn't think that would have been, like, something to do in, like, a first encounter. I saw Slap Shoes when I was at Nashville this year, too, and I saw Danny B, but I passed him walking up the steps. I think he was going somewhere. It was before the race started, so maybe he was going back to the concession one last time or something. I don't know. I didn't want to bother him because he looked like he was on a mission, but another car in the pit lane, so we definitely have some cars pitting late. Kevin Harvick in 6th place, Michael McDowell in 5th. And Bell might be able to get back inside the top 5. You can see a lot more shade covering the front stretch of the Daytona International Speedway. Now that we're getting later and later into this race. 6 laps to go. So even with 2 extra pit stops, Christopher Bell may still get a top 5. That's going to be insane. Just goes to show, again, that he had a shot to win. That turtle trying to get back into the gas, that last turtle in the bus stop, is what seemingly costed him. It's a great corner that time in the International Horseshoe. Gets back to the gas. Oh boy. Caught that dirty air behind the 53 there for a second. Make the pass, getting back up onto the oval. And he has ran down Kevin Harvick and Michael McDowell. Somewhat. He's going to have enough laps to get to him, though. Just got to hit his marks. Can't afford any more penalties. He's missed the backstretch bus stop 6 times. He's missed the front stretch chicane once total in the race. Those have been the penalties for Bell. And then the 2 unscheduled stops, penalties of their own. Right, not legitimate penalties, but both for hitting the turtles. No, pretty even with Harvick and McDowell that time through. It seems like McDowell's pulling away from Harvick again. Oh, Michael McDowell trying to get his second top 5 of the year. First on a non-super speedway. Yeah, I'd like to go to the Indy 500 next year. I'm definitely going to the Daytona 500 next season. And we got one car pitting up ahead, and I believe that's McDowell. So McDowell has pit. Big run now into the tri-oval. Harvick trying to block Bell. Bell gets to the inside into turn 1. He's going to outbrake the 4 car. He's going to slide the tires. Using the excess pavement, getting back to the gas, still staying clear. And Bell is back inside the top 5 at the Daytona Road Course. Oh, you're only 50 minutes from Auto Club. Yeah, I plan on going to Auto Club, Daytona 500 next year. I plan on going to Auto Club anyway, so it's actually kind of cool inside Uranus. It saves me money, you know. It saves me money going to a track I was already planning on going to anyway. Plan on going to those 2 to start the season. I plan on going back to Atlanta with the reconfiguration just to see. I was there for the 2019 race with the old configuration. Knowing it'll be 550 horsepower again. I know it's a next-gen car, but it might still be somewhat similar to the same race as far as the package goes. So, see what the major difference is there. Curious. as a racing fan to find out. So I'd want to be there in person. And then Dirt Bristol definitely going to. A lot more races early in the year. This year was like the middle of the season. I went to a lot of races. Next year will be more towards the beginning, but they'll be more spaced out at the same time too. So that'll be the first 4 races I go to next year. Plan on going to Gateway definitely next year, with that being the first Cup race at Gateway. My home track is Michigan, so you can plan on me being back at Michigan. And I'll probably go to 2 more Cup races outside of those tracks. I don't know which ones yet, though. I'm curious about Phoenix for the championship next year. I'll have to wait for the 2023 schedule to come out, because if it's on the 2023 schedule, I'll wait to go to Phoenix the following season. But I'll know by the end of the year if I go there or not within like the last month or 2 before Phoenix rolls around. I should know. And then another racetrack, probably Richmond. I haven't been to Richmond yet. Either Richmond or Kansas would probably be another track I'd go to. Those will be the only 2 tracks within 10-hour drive time that I haven't been to yet, so probably one of those tracks would be the other ones I go to. Plan on me going to the Mid-Ohio truck race as well, with that only being like an hour and a half away from where I live. That won't be hard to get to. And then IndyCar, I want to see them race at Mid-Ohio also, which is like the week after the trucks race there. The week after, the week before the trucks race there, so I find it weird they're not going to be racing on the same weekend there, but so we'll be having some race highlights from the grandstand videos again next season. We'll have quite a few. If you count the dual races, 400 miles from Auto Club, that's not too terrible. First follow on Instagram. There you go. Did you get it all signed up then? Yeah, I'll just, whenever you leave a message, I'll just get back to you when I can. I'll probably be going to bed here pretty soon after this race is over. I don't have to work tomorrow, but I'm going to try to get up a little earlier. I got some gym equipment at the house because I wanted to start getting back into lifting weights and stuff. So I've been buying some equipment really over the last week or so. So I got to put that together while I'm off work tomorrow. So try to get an earlier start tomorrow, then and work out for the first time in months. So I'll probably be a little sore by the end of the day, but it's a day off. I'll get through it. So again, not sure if Bell is a lap down or not. Really tough to tell. It's great that he rallied back to the top 5, so it looks like it will be back-to-back top 5 finishes today. We'll know this time by if it will be the final lap or not once Chase Elliott receives the white flag. Then we'll get notified when that happens. What airline? I've never flown before. That would be the first time I would ever fly, so I couldn't really give you much on there. I'm actually a little nervous myself with flying, only because I've never done it before, and that would probably be a race I'd be actually traveling by myself, so I'll probably have to drive to Detroit to get a one-way flight, which I only live like an hour and 15 minutes away, so it won't be that bad, but probably have to work it out where somebody's going to have to get my car or something. I don't know. I got a few months to figure it out, though, so. Looks like Chastain's about 12 seconds ahead. Christopher Bell still. Those 2 extra stops definitely costed Bell a chance of getting any more positions than what he would already be getting here. So it looks like Bell is on the lead lap still, even after taking 2 extra stops. And Kyle Busch is only 6 seconds behind him, pitting that extra time too, so he is closing in on Bell. He's got fresher tires than Christopher. Christopher now on about his 10th lap of this run. It would be 12 laps by the time the checkered flag flies. So 2 to go at the Daytona Road Course. And there it is. Chase Elliott now finally hits the start-finish line. So now it's the final lap of the race for Elliott at least. But Bell will still have to make another lap and a half. Dominant race for Chase Elliott. This will be his second win of the season. And he will lead wire to wire from the pole, leading every lap, all 70 laps at the Daytona Road Course today. It'll be his second career win at this racetrack. And what would be in the first 2 races ever for the Cup Series at the Daytona Road Course, considering that this is the 2021 season. Fly all the time. Yeah, I always drive. I like driving. Never flown before because like, yeah, I'll be a nervous wreck, but I'll be well prepared as much as I possibly could be. Oh, Bell's going to miss the bus stop. Oh, that is not what he needed here late. He probably wasn't going to catch Chastain anyway, but he's really hoping that car behind him doesn't catch him for position. And he's trying to get back on the gas and get back up to speed again. And it's now the 7th time he's missed the bus stop today. He's only missed the front stretch chicane once. Off the turtle. Oh, geez. Drifting into the wall off the turtle. They'll making some errant mistakes here in the last couple laps of the race. Really, the last 20 laps. All things considered. Well, I guess 2 of it wasn't really his fault, but oh well. It was going to be tough to beat Elliott today, but it definitely costed him a probably runner-up finish. Checkered flag is in the air. Chase Elliott has now won his second race of the season. But yeah, I haven't had to drive more than 10 hours to a NASCAR race yet, but a lot of tracks have been within 8 to 10 hours drive. Like a lot of them have been like pretty equal 8 to 10 hour drives. But yeah, I've driven to every race. Daytona will be the longest drive I've ever had to a NASCAR race. That'll be about 15 and a half hours in February. Going to try not to make another mistake here. He doesn't want to really back this corner up. Doesn't want to make another mistake on the final lap. Not battling for any positions like he did the lap before. Oh, I always go hotel. But I always try to stay decent way from the track when I drive, like so it's quicker on the drive home. And it saves money, but with flying, I'm probably going to have to get one close to the track. Checkered flag in the air for Christopher Bell. He'll bring it home in the 5th place position. Back-to-back top 5s on the season. And now 3 straight top 10. So he's clicking off a little bit of a roll. But it was Chase Elliott who dominated the day. A 31-second victory over Denny Hamlin. Again, though, Hamlin did have to make an extra stop there at the end. So did Kyle Larson. But Elliott was able to make it on 3 stops today. One of the only drivers that was really able to do that, on top of the fact he had a fast race car. So Chase Elliott, again, leads wire to wire all 70 laps of this race from the pole. Denny Hamlin comes up 2nd. Kyle Larson, 3rd place. Ross Chastain, 4th. Christopher Bell rounds out the top 5. Kyle Busch finishes 6th after spinning earlier in the race today off the front bumper of the 20. So that's a little... At least Bell didn't really cost Busch many positions. May have cost him a chance to beat Busch for 5th there, all things considered, considering Bell had to make an extra couple stops there late. But outside of that, Busch didn't really lose out on anything else. Joey Logano finishes 7th. Michael McDowell actually lost a bunch of spots late. He was 5th, fell back to 8th. Martin Truex Jr. finishes 9th, and Kurt Busch rounds out the top 10. Harvick also lost a lot of spots late. I think some other guys were able to make it, like Logano, who was outside the top 10, and maybe Busch, who actually did make it on one less stop, only got there because he didn't have to pit, and that's why they cycle ahead of guys like Harvick and McDowell, and why they lost a couple extra spots there towards the end. That's not a question I am going to answer inside your anus. Come on, man. I do not live stream the Packers games, no. No, it's strictly just NASCAR stuff on the channel. Nope. Live stream all things NASCAR. Oh, I didn't go through the full result. Well, gosh darn it. That's the third time now this season that. Well, the first two happened because it was a glitch. That time was me. That time it was me. So I'm going to have to go back through the finishing results to this one and try to find the finishing results for the season purposes. But that is going to wrap things up, though. Thanks for everybody staying here on this Sunday night. Hopefully you had a great weekend. First off, season weekend in the NASCAR season. But, well, hey, there we go. Another race in the books. 10 races to go to the playoffs. Still sitting on 10 different winners right now. We'll see what will happen in the closing races. Next race in the custom schedule season will be the Coca-Cola 600 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, followed by the Pennzoil 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So a couple 550 tracks coming up next. We've only had one 550 mile and a half, and that was at Kansas for the Bushy McBush Race 400 a couple races ago. So we'll see how this one will go. We unfortunately DNF'd in that Kansas race, so but we'll see. We'll see how Charlotte and Kansas will go. Again, if that Charlotte Coke 600 race does not happen tomorrow, it will be NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005, likely at Dover. So be on the lookout for that one. Either way, we're streaming tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can check out the channel. Whatever the live stream will be, we will be live. We'll be doing live commentary, realistic commentary for the NASCAR races once again. So thanks everybody as always. On the road to becoming a NASCAR commentator, as always, so definitely like, share, and subscribe, most importantly, to the channel. Appreciate the support. Have a good rest of your Sunday night. Catch you for a great racing action tomorrow on what will hopefully be a great Monday.